Good evening. Howdy, howdy, and hello. How are we doing today? It's bright here. It's California, baby. California knows how to party. Some bad feed. That fucking super chat was bad faith. Any word on how miserable TJ was today? He did tweet that he got a horrifying sunburn. There was that. Sick transit Gloria. Glory fades. My name is Max Fisher. Nihilo sanctimus. What is it? Nihilo sanctimus ne? No. Nihilo sanctimus ne. Nihilo sanctimus ne. There's nothing sacred. Sick transit Gloria. See you on the other side, surf boy. When the fighting stops. Hello, Krista. Hello, everyone who has decided to stop by what may very well be a very short stream tonight. If I can't hang, like if this breeze picks up a little bit more, we're fine. If the temperature continues to plummet as the sun goes down, we're fine. If it stays this kind of like borderline muggy warm, this will be over. This will be over. What kind of man are you? You always treat me cruel. What kind of man are you? Wow. How dare somebody laugh? What would you say are your current hobbies, or what hobbies did you used to engage in but stopped? I read, I play video games, I love watching film, so I'd say those are probably my current hobbies. And those have been my hobbies for a while. I can't think that I don't think my hobbies have really done much changing over the years. As when I was a kid, I used to ride bikes and stuff. That was fun. Kind of a hobby. Smoking a hobby? No. 'Tis not. 'Tis a pastime, not a hobby. It's the temperature? I don't know exactly. I don't have a fucking thermometer, bro. I don't know and don't have a thermom. Thanks, Ian, for the 20 bucks. What a guy. How about acting? Feel like you used to train your voice for singing too because of how good your impressions are. Yeah, I mean, I never considered acting a hobby though. That was a work. Like I felt like I was doing work when I acted, even if I wasn't getting paid. You know, just really rewarding work, not a hobby. Any acting tips? No, not really. Listen to your director. You're jumping in feet first. Listen to your director. Dude, I've seen Hairspray. I don't need to see any more Baltimore. I've seen Hairspray, okay? I know what Baltimore's all about. I've seen Hairspray. I don't need to watch The Wire. Baltimore. I love you, Baltimore. What made you get into acting and made you view yourself as an actor? My teacher in high school. Freshman year, I was kind of like heading down the burnout road pretty quick. And I took drama because I thought it would be an easy fucking what do you call those, elective, right? And the teacher in that class wasn't about to let me fucking skate my way through it. She saw that I was talented and decided she was going to treat me as such, and kind of instilled in me a desire to be better at what I was doing, and then, set me on the path or whatever. I need to get myself I can start doing the beard band, dude. Look at this shit. I could do it. Start like putting. Do I have one out here? I'll do it right now. Don't. Shit. Could do it though. Braid it. Yeah, beard bun. Whip it up. Or just put it in a big ponytail. Put some big gold rings around it. Whoosh. Just finished the latest episode about Zack Snyder. Did you see Army of the Dead yet? And if so, did you like it? I have not, so I can't say. Holy cannoli frittoli. Look who it is. It's Skeptical Jesus. Look who it is. Oh, Skeptical Jesus. Oh, Skeptical Jesus. Skep G, dude. What happened, Skeptical Jesus? What happened? What happened, skeptical Jesus? Skep G, what happened? Skep G. Oh my goodness. Let it all out, skeptical. Let it all out. Come on, let's do it. Let it out. You are on a roll in that argument. On a roll, Skep G. Let it all hang out, Skep G. Skeptical Jesus, damn. Let's not. Let's not. Oh, Skep G. I got no problem with skeptical Jesus. Like I said, I ain't go punish the dude, but holy fuck. I guess I'm too stoned to really care. That's another beautiful thing about this plant. It's that it really helps you sort what matters from what doesn't. I'm in love with Mary Jane. Roosters. Somebody tell him the sun's going down. See? What is Rooster crowing about? Does anybody know off top? Like, what's it about? Is it communication? Is it just like a dominance display? Is it like a warning thing? Like, why did it develop as... Because it seems like all it would do is alert predators to where you are. Yeah, but it seems like a territory flex that would get you killed because you're just like alerting all the predators in the area to the like location of all your shit. Like, hey, there's a big meal over here. No, 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 there's a big meal over here. Cry for help. So they're like challenging each other and shit. It could be a reaction to anything, according to Google. Yeah, it just seems like a very strange fucking thing to have developed, you know? You guys see the colors hitting my face. I know you want to peek at this. I know some of you enjoy this shit, so let's give it to you. Look at that. Holy fuck. Wow. The picture does not do it justice. Of course, it's pitch dark on the East Coast. It's like 4 hours, or what is it? 3 hours ahead of me? Something like that. Let me get my cup. Gotta go fill up my drink. The sun never sets. Never sets anywhere. Sun shines always upon the face of the planet. That's what I mean. They're 3 hours ahead of me. So of course it's dark. It's dark on the East Coast now, because it's like, what? If it's like 10 o'clock there, right? 9 o'clock, something like that. Anyway. Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hours close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. It's close to midnight. Something evil's lurking in the dark. Winner, winner. Under the moonlight. The funk of 40,000 years is TJ on a good day. Damn, that's harsh. TJ smells pretty decent now. I've never seen TJ stink. Chelsea took care of the TJ stinks problem a long time ago. She whipped his ass into shape. Dude, that time right between like 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. is my favorite fucking time of the day. For some reason, I feel so restless during those hours of the day. Like, I just want to, like, be outside and run around and get shit done. It's like the opposite of the way I should feel. Damn. You guys hear that shit? Fuck. Snap, crackle, pop. Snap, crackle, pop. You don't like hearing the pops. See, I like hearing that shit. Dude, my whole fucking spine is like that. It always has been. One of the things that I've done right my whole life is that I've learned how to adjust my own back and how to stretch my own back. I started doing it when I was really young, like in the 6th or 7th grade. I started cracking my back and stretching it against my scoliosis and shit. And I've been doing that my whole life, and it's one of the reasons I think I'm not more debilitated with my back being fucked up than I am, but it's painful as fuck. About twice a day, I use that fucking chirp wheel thing, which for me is just like, it feels good, but it's agonizing, you know, because it's like forcing my back to stretch in a way that it's supposed to stretch naturally, that it doesn't stretch very often. But it like relieves a lot of the tension and a lot of the pain that I walk around with. Oh yeah, dude, this thing cracks my like, I guess it would be your sternum, yeah. like when I lean all the way back on the wheel and just let the weight of my arms fall back, all this in here cracks. Like the shoulder joints, the collarbone to the sternum connection, it all just kind of goes, you know, as I like, it sounds ouch, but it feels really good. It's just like really fucking stretching out your whole body. Yeah, the chirp wheel shit is no joke. I've been trying to fucking tell people about it. Like I told TJ was asked me, I can't remember when it was, like a month or two ago. He's like, Paul, what are you doing for your back, man? My back is all fucked up. And I told him about these chirp wheels that I got and how good they feel. You're creeped out by the cracking sound. Understandable. Some people are not cool, but I've just heard it so many times in my life. I come from a flexible, medium height family. I can touch my palms to the ground. Yoga balls help. Yeah, I don't. Yoga is something that I've considered trying to get into, but it fucking kills, bro. Why are they so expensive? They're like, I don't know. I don't think they're all that fucking expensive, to be honest with you. You don't have to get like all three of them. You could just get the one. The one that I use is the small one, though. The very smallest one. Yeah, I can crack pretty much every one of my vertebrae, but it depends on how much tension I'm carrying in my back. I think it's just you, buddy. Yeah, I mean, there's a number of things you can do. You can use your bed to decompress your neck. If you just lay on the edge of your bed and let like the front part of your shoulders and your whole head hang over the edge, it gives like a little bit of traction to your neck and allows you to stretch it better. Size friendly yoga. Yeah, I need that shit. I need some size friendly yoga. I need some fat fuck friendly yoga. I need some fat friendly yoga. Fat. Because I'm fat. Or maybe Tai Chi. Maybe Tai Chi would be good for me. Popped parts of my neck and thought I was going to die for a second because of how high up it was. Oh, yeah, you can, well, like people don't realize it, but there are joints in your vertebrae that go all the way up to the bone that's called your occiput here, which is the bone that through muscle and shit connects your skull to your head. And so you can pop every single or adjust every single vertebrae there all the way down the neck. So I crack my occiput like that. I push. So I use like counter, like this is something that I learned how to do like as a teenager, and I don't see hardly anybody doing it. So what you do is you kind of like push against your own neck, like you push, like I'm trying to push my head forward, and you resist, but not with the muscle, like you allow these muscles to go lax and you resist with the other muscles. So it forces your neck to kind of like I've cracked my neck by doing that forever. I just put my hand on the side of my head, push as hard as I can with that shoulder and arm muscle against my neck, and then push back with those side neck muscles and just let it go. You're not going to snap your own neck. Hello, Mr. Naughty Priest. Thank you as always, sir. You fine example of a gentleman. Got another super chat above Mr. Naughty Priest. Oh, okay. I love cracking. It's shame-most chiropractors and crack addicts are massive anti-maskers, gemstone loving, astrology worshipping quacks. Yeah, I'm fine with like people going to chiropractors. I don't think that you should go to a chiropractor thinking that they're going to heal something that it requires a surgery to heal. But that being said, like it's massage. Like people crack their backs because it gives relief. It repositions your spine just slightly and gives relief. Just leave him alone, pork chop. Let Skep G fucking chill. Down, pork chop, down. It's all right. Skep G got a little angsty in the comments or whatever. At ease, boy, at ease. Let's let him chill. It's no big deal. Everybody gets a little angsty sometimes. What do you do if you walked into your house and saw your future self standing in your living room in the dark? I would have a Spider-Man moment. I would go, and he would go. That would be creepy. There's a movie, we've talked about it here recently, but for those of you that maybe weren't here the last time I talked about it, there's a really great movie about the doppelganger called Enemy. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal in it. It's a really, really fucking amazingly good movie. Creepy as all fucking get out. It's like psychological horror to the max, like real, kind of horror slash suspense type of movie. Definitely worth your time if you're a fan of horror and find the idea of seeing somebody that it not, because like Enemy is not about finding somebody that looks kind of like you or even like eerily like you. It's about finding somebody that like looks exactly like you, bumping into your doppelganger in the world, basically finding out that you have somebody running around out there in the world that looks exactly like you. Not, a little different here and there, like totally dead on balls, same features, same voice, right? It's eerie. It's an eerie thought. Yep. I believe Enemy is one of Denis Villeneuve's early films, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, Ingrid, if you like psychological horror, I can almost guarantee you'll love Enemy. You may not. Richard Ayoade did a doppelganger type movie recently, and he's not usually one for serious roles, but was good. I never heard of him, or at least the name doesn't ring a bell. My favorite doppelganger thing is when the newscaster shows the picture of the guy that looks like him. Yeah. That one was pretty funny. Hey, Paul, there's a guy named John Cowie that looks like a buff version of me. Cool, but doesn't quite fit. There's usually a great Harlan Ellison story about creepy things. I don't know that I can place the exact story that you're referencing, but it doesn't shock me. The more I read of Harlan Ellison, the more I realize that he kind of covered a little bit of everything creepy. Well, see, skeleton popped out. That's kind of like the problem, though, right? Your doppelganger could never be like, but what if he was? That's what I'm saying. Could you live? It was called the double neat. Oh, okay, the funny, nerdy black dude in Hit Crowd. Okay. Or IT Crowd. I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to say. I never watched the show. I know who you're referencing, though. I've seen enough of the memes. Are you more scared by paranormal horror or more realistic horror? It depends on how it's presented. Like, honestly, it really honestly depends on how horror is presented to me. It's like I can be scared by any kind of horror. I can be scared by a slasher movie if it presents itself well. I can be scared by psychological horror or, suspense type of horror or kind of the horror of the uncanny. It just depends on how it's presented. There's no real like genre of horror I find more scary than others. It's 100% about presentation. If you strip down horror to a lot of its core ideas, it's just absurd. Like they're absurd movies, right? So you have to present. Vivarium, yeah. Hey, Paul. Hell, Paul could have a doppelganger in Russia who's a bear trapper and a hunter. Who knows? Not all paranormal horror suffers from that. Case in point, The Witch. The Witch is supernatural / paranormal horror that does not rely on jump scares. It's a psychological horror film with a paranormal element. The Vivitch. Yeah, no, that was a great movie. Midsummer, another great example of a movie that is just intensely scary, but tends to like deviate from a lot of the tropes of horror. It's like, most horror relies a lot on the human fear of darkness. And Midsummer is almost a defiance of that. Puts everything that's horrible right out there in this beautiful, idyllic sunlight. It's rare for horror to not be jump scares or the same old boring haunting of blah blah movies. So when a good one comes along, I'm stoked. Same. The spookiest M. Night Shyamalan twist. The spookiest twist. Oh. I guess the twist in The Visit or whatever is a little spooky. What a twist. Yeah. Rosemary's Baby is a good flick. Old people can be horrifying, so that was scary. Oh, yeah. Old people are scary, man. They've seen shit. They know shit. Ancient, forgotten shit. Yes, I've seen The Lighthouse. Let's just not. Let's stop with the have you seens. What horror movie would you recommend to someone who isn't a horror fan? It depends on why that, like, I would have to have a conversation with that person as to why they don't like the horror genre. Because some people are don't like horror for different reasons, right? There are people like me, like I'm really adverse to real life gore. Like I can't watch people actually getting mangled or hurt in real life and shit. But movie gore doesn't bother me. Fucking, there are some people that are really freaked out or have a phobia of ghosts or whatever the fuck, and they don't want to watch a ghost movie. Well, it's just like, I'd have to ask that person, like, what is it about horror that you don't find engaging or that you're adverse to?
I think it's okay for him now.
What? Who, D? Oh, yeah, he can come out. Come on, Dusty D. The sun has gone down.
It was just too hot when it was 100 degrees.
Yeah.
No fun.
That is no fun. I'm not a horror fan because I don't like being scared. Well, there you go then. Then you're probably right to not watch the genre. My favorite 21st century horror film. You know what movie came to my mind right away? And I don't know if it's true, so let me think about it. As I was reading your fucking comment, one movie just came tumbling out of my brain immediately. And I think it may be true. It Follows? I fucking loved that movie. I thought that movie atmospherically was so fucking good. And I thought that the angle of it was so fucking good. I just enjoyed every bit of that fucking movie. It may not ultimately, because it's going up against Midsummer, it's going up against fucking, what's that other A24 movie? Hereditary. These are all movies that I really, really enjoyed. Dude, It Follows was just great. It had this great, synthwave soundtrack that was real ominous and dark. I don't know, man. There's just something about that movie got me. The Witch, really great. So, but It Follows was the one that came right out of my head. I remember watching that movie, and this is so rare for me. I watched that movie, I was up late at night, and I immediately just restarted the film because I wanted to watch it again. I very rarely back-to-back a movie like that, but it had been...
You haven't shown it to me at all. So.
Yeah, it's just, there's a long list of shit that we haven't watched together. But no, It Follows is great. The Mist is really great too. Definitely deserves to be talked about on the list there. It is a really, really spooky film. For multiple reasons, right? Some dead horror franchises you'd like to see brought back. I would love to see a modern rebirth of Tales from the Crypt. John Casser is still alive. He's the guy that did the Crypt Keeper voice. I know they got the puppet somewhere over there at HBO. It was an HBO show back in the day. They've attempted to do it. They need to just bring it back and really redo it like they did it back then. Get celebrities involved in it. You know what I mean? Modern actors, have them do cameos and shit or be main characters in them. It was so cool when Tales from the Crypt was churning that out all the time. These really rapid fire 30-minute episodes, a lot of times with, recognizable faces in them. Fuck yeah, bro. They Live doesn't need a modern reimagining. They Live is perfect just how it is, dude. That's the thing about some horror movies are kind of timeless, and They Live speaks just as loudly now or today as it did the day it was released. The social commentary in They Live and that kind of corporate horror, it hasn't changed, right? And so the little idiosyncrasies, the fact that the cars don't look the same as cars do now, the fact that cell phones aren't ubiquitous, all that shit melts away because the concept is so relatable still, right? Jason versus the Nazis, yeah. I'd be down for that. Little Shop of Horrors, don't want to see that rebooted. I mean, well, you know, maybe it could be. I'm not saying nothing needs to be rebooted or reimagined or updated or whatever the fuck, but there's some shit that's just timeless. Don't worry about it. Don't let it worry your little head. The greatest found footage horror film, The Blair Witch Project. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Didn't technically invent the genre, although it popularized it. And that's all there is to it. I like The Babadook. That was a psychological horror movie with a cool look to it. Cool look at the field of psychology and especially trauma. Yeah, I agree. It was a good movie. Spooky. Had a really interesting kind of conceit draped over the whole thing. The single mother dealing with the child with developmental difficulty.
Do you like the VHS movies at all?
Mm-hmm.
Do you end up watching all of them or no?
I don't think I've watched all of them. I think I've seen the first two.
The third one was a little
I've heard.
viral.
I've heard it's like sketch, but I really liked the first two.
Yeah.
So the Babadook genuinely scared me. Well, yeah, because like a lot of the things, a lot of people don't realize that horror is not just about putting a big scary monster chasing people around. It can be, but horror can be frightening because it draws parallels to you that you don't like, right? You might see yourself in a horror film in a way that you don't like, and it puts you, it makes you personally invested. So like somebody that was raised in an incredibly intolerant Christian household might see themselves in the witch, might see their ostracization, might see the fanaticism of their family overriding their needs as a child. You know what I mean? And that becomes part of the horror. Midsummer is about tragedy. It's about a woman who just tragically loses her whole family. And then goes into a cocoon for a year or so, and then eventually comes out to go on this trip. And what happens at the trip, her reintroduction into society is more horrible than her isolation after the tragedy that happened in her life. Right. Classic horror films have a propensity for starting in really believable ways, like the way that Night of the Living Dead starts, the original Romero, Night of the Living Dead. Starts with Johnny and Barbara driving out into the middle of nowhere to visit their grandfather's grave on his birthday, because their grandmother or their mother can no longer visit. She's too old, so she asks them to go put a wreath on his grave or whatever the fuck. That's a believable scenario. I can imagine, you know, a brother and sister having to get together and do that for their mom as she gets older. She can't make it. She can't make the trip anymore, so please go up and put this on granddad's grave or whatever. You know, but knowing what happens in that movie, just that premise sounds frightening, right? I wouldn't talk about it so much if it wasn't worth watching, bro. Night of the Living Dead original versus remake. Original blows the remake out of the fucking water. The remake kind of just absolutely loses sight of what made the original scary, overplays the tension inside the house in ways that the original never did. It was like the original had this simmering undercurrent of racial tension, but never made it front and center. The remake in the 90s, it's just a racist dude, and that's why and he's not only racist but like murderous, you know what I mean, to the point of they go over the top with the shit. There's so much of the shit that's left to subtext in the original is put blatantly out there in the form of dialogue in the remake that I can't. And then the ending too is a complete and utter bastardization of the original. The ending of the first movie ends with, you know, the fucking black dude survives and this militia is clearing out places that are infested with zombies, and he kind of pokes his head out because he doesn't know who, friend or foe, you know what I mean? And they shoot him in the head. He's alive. He's not a zombie. He's not bitten. He's not turning into a zombie. And that's the social commentary. They throw him on the same pile of bodies as all the other zombies they've killed. So in the end, how many other people have they done that to? So in the end, who's more evil? The zombies who are chasing after people and eating them, or the fucking rednecks who have come to clean it all up, right? Yep, that's what they say. Another one for the fire, boys. And then, you know, at the end of the movie, you get to see him getting moved with meat hooks, just like he's a zombie. The 1990 remake version completely fucking subverts that, completely undermines the premise. He is a zombie when he comes wandering out and they shoot him, and it's just like, wow, way to take all the impact out of it. Yeah, of course they're going to shoot him. He's a zombie. There's no impact to that. They try and make it impactful by making the chick that was his friend do the shooting in the 90s remake, but it doesn't work. Nobody's buying it. There's no tension to it. We know it's going to happen. We see him get bit by the little girl in the basement. So we know he's dead. So there's no tension. It's just bullshit. It's like the 90s version tried to make the movie an unrealistic heroine story. I'm not saying women aren't capable of like nutting up and doing crazy things if they have to, but the portrayal of Barbara, it's unbelievable. The personal change that she goes through over the course of one fucking night is unbelievable. She goes from being this person that's afraid of her own shadow, which is how she's portrayed throughout the entire movie, the first movie, because some people are just like that. Over the course of one night, she watches her brother die, she watches the zombocalypse happen, and she goes from being a person who's already, before the zombocalypse, afraid of her own fucking shadow, to like an action badass who's got 2 bandoliers of shotgun shells and knows how to work a shotgun and shit. And it's just like, whatever. It's not really all that believable. Oh, man. Chopping Mall. You know, another movie that I really liked when it came out that I don't see anybody fucking talking about anymore. What the fuck was that movie called? Neon Demon. I don't see anybody ever talking about that movie anymore. And in fact, when it came out, a lot of people were like, boo, that movie fucking sucked. Dude, that was some Lynchian horror right there. It was good shit. Had a fucking great soundtrack as well. Yeah, that movie was great. I've never seen The Girl with All the Gifts. Annihilation had some cool visuals, but like it just got absurd. I don't know if the book is better. I've never read the book. Some people tell me that the book is way better. Have you read the book, Annihilation?
What? I thought it was based on like a graphic novel.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I thought it was
it's
based on a
based on
book.
like a graphic novel series, but it was like a bastardization of that.
So okay.
It's very loosely based on a graphic novel.
Gotcha. I didn't know that. I thought it was a book, but whatever. Yeah, I haven't. I'm not a big fan. Neon Demon kind of gives me perfect blue vibes. Yeah. No, dude, it's a really like. It just goes to show you, it's another angle of horror, right? It takes the beauty industry and the modeling industry and turns that into horror. It's like the way that women chop their bodies up and starve themselves and present themselves as perfect and beautiful everywhere they go, and the way that they are often assaulted or coerced into sexual relationships, the way that they snipe at one another, because it's like dog eat dog in that industry. So you take these people and you throw them in this kind of meat grinder of unattainable beauty, and the people that come out on top are the people that are willing to fucking go the farthest in their pursuit of it, destroying themselves in the process, right? That's the commentary of Neon Demon, if there is some. Beauty isn't everything, it's the only thing, yeah. It's a quote from one of the antagonists in the film. What movie has that shit? I want to watch that. It's called Neon Demon.
Yeah, if you like that, then I think you might actually like American Mary that I'm trying to get you to watch for a while.
I'll check it out. What's the strangest thing in a horror movie has found horror in? Well, I mean, horror finds horror in strange things. So the strangest of things is going to be some of the more common things. The idea of a corpse coming back to life, right? Aliens invading the earth or taking over the minds of of people, or copying people, as in Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Well, you could think of things like the slime. Well,
The Blob.
Yeah, the Blob. But didn't we watch another one that was like more of like a marshmallow fluff?
The Stuff.
The Stuff.
Yeah.
That
Can't get enough of the stuff. That was consumerism.
About fucking like Cool Whip, basically.
Right. It was horror about Disney level consumerism.
Yeah, but it ultimately made Cool Whip scary.
Right. The Stuff. Can't get enough of the stuff. I love how the stuff, he just eats it off the jungle floor. Yeah. I think Lake Mungo has the creepiest scene of all time. I've never seen Lake Mungo. Chud is great too. I mean, no, it isn't. I have seen Soylent Green. It's okay. If you know the twist, it's not really that great of a movie. Yeah, I've seen Reanimator. I don't care if you love Chud, you're stupid. If you love Chud, you are a Chud.
You also said it twice, so.
Yep. Not a horror film, but the torture scene in Reservoir Dogs genuinely disturbed me. Well, it's a delving into body horror. The way that he very explicitly shows not only the maiming of the cop, but the aftermath of it is a little dose of body horror in the midst of a action crime drama. Yep, I got suckered by Chud as a kid. Chud had one of those boxes that made you want to get it. Box shows a city in the background, then a storm drain, then an alien-looking hand and a horrible face looking out of the storm drain, and you think, oh yeah. Chud is just bullshit. Yep.
No, yeah.
We've seen The Changeling.
That was like your spin-off episode.
Yeah, is it a spin-off or a rip-off?
Yeah, like a
Rip-off or homage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
No, The Changeling is really good. Very, very much a template horror film. The tortured, talented person has a horrible accident or some tragedy happen in their life. They go to some reclusive place to escape the tragedy, but it follows them in the form of supernatural horror. It follows them in the form of someone else's tragedy that still echoes from beyond the grave.
Yeah, that was the sad thing about The Changeling, is that it was such a foundation for other movies that it was predictable because so many other movies copied it.
Right. You'd seen so many movies that had taken shit directly from it that watching it didn't feel all that surprising. But still interesting to watch because you realize that a lot of these tropes, some of them very broad, like I just talked about, and some of them very specific, like the ball bouncing down the stairs, which you've seen in I don't know how many fucking different horror movies, right? Somebody looks up a dark staircase and goes, hello, and then they hear thump, 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 and you see a fucking ball bouncing down the stairs, right? Like, that's been in at least fucking 20 horror movies. And it started there, right? The crazy old wheelchair that comes to life and starts chasing people, that happens a lot in horror movies. Started in The Changeling. The idea of a ghost giving a talented person all of these little secretive messages in order to help him solve their murder, thus bring peace to the ghost. Pretty much invented by The Changeling. If not outright invented, then perfected as a trope by The Changeling. Did 28 Days Later come out before or after the Dawn of the Dead remake? The Snyder remake? Because in my opinion, the Zack Snyder remake of Dawn of the Dead is the last great zombie franchise to come out. What are you doing, D? "13 Ghosts." Yeah. No, that's actually, it's not very spooky. I've gone back and watched it. Dude, Zach and I probably grew up around the same time. I can just tell. Because, that movie, when I was a teenager, too, it was kind of spooky. Or, in late teens, early 20s or whatever. I remember really liking that movie. I went back and watched it. It hasn't held up. It's not real scary, but...
Yeah, I think you tried showing it to me and we just didn't finish it.
Yeah, I mean, I like it, but...
I don't remember why exactly we didn't finish it. We just weren't feeling it, I don't think.
Yeah. Do you think that A Quiet Place will become future horror classic? Sure. Yeah.
We still gotta watch the sequel that just came out, huh?
I guess. I really don't want to see A Quiet Place 2. I probably will at some point, but... Is it on HBO or some shit?
Oh.
Can we just get it free on HBO?
I don't know.
The sequel is a prequel? Yeah, I know. It's not... I don't know. I just got a bad feeling.
It's supposed to be... It's got that 90 on Rotten Tomatoes, so...
People are so fucking boned up for movies right now, though.
But it's...
I don't know.
We were able to finish Those Who Wish Me Dead, so we probably finished this one.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah. I've finished a lot worse movies than Those Who Wish Me Dead. a manager of a large theater and the largest movie we've had since we've opened. Everyone says it's great. All right, well, you know, I'll check it out. I think my first big theater experience is going to be seeing Dune. I want to see Dune in IMAX if I can for the first time. If it looks like it's going to be slammed out or whatever, I may just like wait till it comes out here and wait till the fucking
I guess it's on
crowds die down.
Paramount Plus.
What
You
is?
get A Quiet Place too.
Oh, I don't want to get Paramount Plus, bro. I don't know. I'd have to look. Maybe we can swap over to Paramount Plus when we're bored of fucking HBO.
Yeah.
I liked the first one. The first one was a genuine experience going to the movie theater, dude. You could heard a pin drop during that movie. The whole audience, it was a slammed out audience, which is usually has like just a little bit of ambient noise that comes with it as people cough and murmur to one another and shit, right? Dude, there are some parts of that Quiet Place movie where the soundtrack, the whole fucking audio experience basically drops out. It goes dead fucking silent. And dude, that whole audience was holding their breath. You could have heard a fucking pin drop. So that's a real experience, you know? Bird Box, a movie where you can't see. Quiet Place, a movie where you can't make noise. When will a horror movie come out where you can't taste? I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily horror material. I'm sure maybe you could make something out of it. I mean, that's kind of explored in Thinner. You want to go inside, bud?
Yeah.
So it's still a little too muggy out here for you, buddy. You are in a fur coat. You can go right inside. Someone should have farted in A Quiet Place. That would have been a funny ass joke, and hella people would have laughed, but I think it would have undermined the tone of the film quite a bit.
Even if someone got murdered right afterwards.
Maybe, but like, who's gonna get murdered? Somebody in the family dies because they farted. You know, there's like nobody in the original Quiet Place except for that family.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're not willing to sacrifice a kid for a fart joke.
I mean, it would be, like I said, I would have hella laughed at it, but I think it would have undermined the fucking. I think giving people that release of tension would have undermined the rest of the tension of the film.
Yeah.
Because that movie, it kind of coasted on the fact that it just doesn't let up till the end.
Yeah. Definitely the horror movie that perfected the fart joke was Dreamcatcher.
Oh, yeah.
Dreamcatcher had the fart joke.
Dude, I love that movie. I love that story. It's good. People don't fucking give props to Dreamcatcher. Duddits, dude. I Duddits. Yeah, dude, the butt tunnelers and shit. That whole thing. They made farts scary. Agreed. Massively underrated film. I'll watch it. Somebody want to nuke Clint Wood for just being... Just get out of here. See ya. I'll do it. I got it. Just complete off-topic shit. Oh. a copy of Ishmael today on your recommendation, but forgot why you recommended it.
So why don't you read it?
Just read it then.
It's like what? Probably like 80 pages or something.
Yeah, it's not a super long book. You can read the book. You can read the book. Going in blind is better, yes. You don't go with my preconceived notions all up in your brain. You make up your own fucking mind about shit. When Paul first mentioned Ishmael on stream while I was watching, I dipped and soaked the whole thing in one sitting. Yeah. No, I mean it's a good fucking book. Easy to read. Meant to be easy to read. It's like a primer for anarcho-primitivist thought. And also a primer for understanding some of the delusions that human beings have about themselves.
It was the chair you were sitting in last night that's fucking you up?
Probably. Yeah, I just sat in a fucking shitty lawn chair all night last night. Could be that, or it could just be my back being fucking lame.
You just seem extra creaky today.
I am. My neck is super stiff. Might have slept on it weird last night. I kind of remember at some point waking up last night, like, with my arm all cramped because I had tucked it under my head or something in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just woke up today with it's kind of why I got up so fucking early this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I just woke up and I flipped and I flopped about 3 or 4 times and I just could not find a spot where my neck was going to let me sleep. So I got up to smoke a joint. By that time I was just like, well, I'm awake.
I thought it was Cricket that woke you up.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
He was eventually like the one that fucking got me to get up out of bed. He came in fucking jumping up and down off the bed. I think he did it like twice. Get up, nose around you, nose around me, and then jump off. And then get up, nose around you, nose around me, and then jump off. I was finally like, all right, you're right, Cricket. You're probably right. Let me just get up. Oh.
I'm never going to win with Cricket.
Nope.
He's just going to find new ways to wake us up in the middle of the night.
Yeah. We are his pets, not the other way around. I sleep on my side and my stomach sometimes, but mostly my side. Never been able to sleep on my back. Oh. Yikes, bro.